This is my first time posting here, although I've been a lurker since last year. For background, I am a 19-year-old student. Although I'm Asian, I have Spanish blood, so I really don't look like the usual Asians here. And this is a bit long, I think. So, I'm in my third year in college, and I just broke up with my boyfriend of 3 years, and started dating again. I dated one guy from my lit class, but we didn't work out, so I was single once again. One random Saturday afternoon, around August, a guy named Chris added me up on Facebook. I saw he was studying the same program at our uni, so I accepted him. He started to like my photos and statuses at first, so it wasn't creepy. It was unusual for him to like my photos from way back 2011, but I didn't give it a second thought. He was around 5'11", is big built, and is an athlete. He was a college freshman, but we were at the same age and he started chatting me. It started as friendly conversation, then that's when I noticed that instead of asking my number, he sent me a copy of my number, then asked, "This is your number, right?" Weirded out, I asked him where he got my number, because I never get out my number, even to my classmates, since I was a lazy texter anyways. But all he replied was a winky face. Monday came and he started texting me. I didn't reply to most of his messages, and he slowly got mad at me, until he flooded my inbox from 10 messages up to 300 messages and 80 missed calls. He also told me, ever since classes started, he was already spying on me. When we had dance rehearsals from our program and school events, he also admitted he used to follow me until I get a ride home. He probably thought that was cute, but that immediately creeped me out. Then asked me out. I refused immediately, because I was still not emotionally ready to be in a relationship, and I was already creeped out by him, but I turned him down politely and told him he deserved someone better. But he was insistent and told me, "I don't care, I'm going to wait for you. I'll never stop until I make you mine." Then, that's when I started noticing him anywhere I go near university. He was like this annoying shadow. He would be at my cafeteria, outside my classrooms, and he even knows my best friend's Facebooks, although we don't even study at the same uni. He also added up all my ex-boyfriends, although I only maintain communication with just one. He also tries to be friendly with my blockmates, but my blockmates noticed I was very uncomfortable, so they didn't communicate with him too, which made him mad, and he would send messages to me to complain, and although I never replied. The final straw was when I was joking to my close friend as we were going out of the restroom, and I said, "What I wouldn't give for a bottle of Sprite," and we got back to my room. Then I had to leave the room again to get some lunch, and when I get back, my blockmate handed me a bottle of Sprite. "That's from Chris," he said, confused. Then I received a message asking me, "So, what would you give me?" "I give you a Sprite." I immediately threw the bottle away from me. I was starting to freak out, so I tried to confront him via text, because I really don't want to talk to him in person, but he kept calling me "my girl" and "my penguin drummer," which really pissed me off. I told him to stop calling me this, because I don't like him, and the only thing he replied was, "I'm going to wait for you outside your classroom so we can go home together. I won't take no for an answer." Afraid and nervous, I asked my blockmates for help, because I really don't know this guy, and they told me I should block his number and Facebook, which I immediately did. Then, I asked the last guy I dated to come pick me up from my room, even just for that day, because I was already scared. Thank God he immediately agreed. The next day, I was so afraid to go out of my room, My blockmates were nice enough to buy me lunch and check if the guy was there. The last class ended, and my gay friend told me the guy was already waiting, and James, the last guy I dated, was looking at him menacingly. When James called my name, I immediately ran towards him, and he wrapped one arm around me protectively. I didn't look at Chris. I was about to cry, but thankfully James walked me out of the uni until I could get a ride home. My phone suddenly was filled with block calls and messages that night, and although I tried to ignore and delete it immediately, I saw a few blocked messages from Chris asking me why I lied to him, why I broke his trust. What the fuck? Then, the worst day came. It was a Friday night, around 2 weeks ago, and it was really raining hard. It was around 7:30 p.m, and we just finished doing a project for our major subject. And as I walked out of our uni, I realised I don't have anyone to be with when I go home, since most of my friends lived at the other side of town. So, I just put on a brave face and walked out of the uni alone. Then I heard someone whistle at me right behind the gate, and I saw it was Chris. I tried to ignore him because it was at least a 5-minute walk before I could get a ride home, but I could feel him following me. I couldn't run because I was wearing heels and it was raining hard. I could hear him calling me, "My penguin drummer, I want to talk. Please come here. Please, I miss you so much. I miss the way we talk." I was so tempted to run, but I knew I wouldn't be able to outrun him as he was stronger and faster. And I couldn't ask for help because there was no cars passing at that time. I heard him coming nearer. Suddenly, I saw 2 of James's friends running towards me with an umbrella. Gosh, I sobbed right into their arms as they asked if Chris had hurt me or anything. Then I heard screaming, and I looked back and saw James and his friends screaming at Chris. As he screamed back, James was about to throw a punch at Chris, but was being pulled back by his friend. James was telling him off and to stay the fuck away from my girl. And Chris answered, "No, she's not yours anymore. She's my penguin drummer. She was never yours to begin with, and if you try to get near to her again, I will fucking end you." Chris seemed to get scared, which was unexpected, as James was thinner and was not even an active person, but he backed down and walked away. The rest of the boys calmed me down before making sure I got home safely. I learned before James went out of campus, he noticed that all the friends I'm with live on the opposite side of town, and I was alone when I go home, and he felt something was not right, so he decided to smoke with his friends in the 7-Eleven near our uni and wait for me to get out. The next morning, I managed to talk to my professors about Chris, and they told me they're going to talk to him, and if he does anything stupid or threatening, he's going straight to the dean's office or something. But since I deleted most of the threatening messages and creepy confessions, they couldn't really punish Chris unless he does something big again. The weeks after, I still see him in the hallways, or when there are school activities involving all students from our program, but he doesn't do anything anymore. I already changed numbers and made sure he won't be able to receive any information about me. James and I are still good friends. Although he asks me out, he's not pursuing me, which is good. And he makes sure Chris steers out of our way. So Chris, get the fuck away from me. You ruined the first half of my school year. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can also leave a comment below. All feedback, good or otherwise, is always appreciated. If you have any creepy stories of your own, or of any topics that you would like me to cover, feel free to send them in via any of my social media. You can find all links to my social media in the description below. Until next time guys, make sure you lock your doors, stay safe, and I'll see you next video.